Martha, had been brewing for a couple months. It started in Minneapolis with all of the bad headlines that were coming out there every day. It escalated when Secretary Gnome went on TV and called Alex Preddy and Renee Good domestic terrorists. It escalated further when Tom Homan was brought in to essentially be the shot caller there, and Gnome and Greg Bovino were essentially sidelined. But then it hit a snowball effect this week with her testimony here on the Hill. And we just got some clarity as to what happened with Senator John Kennedy and Gnome and the White House earlier this week. Senator Kennedy just gaggled with reporters here at the Hill a short time ago, and he gave us a bigger picture look at this.
The president, when he called me Tuesday night, the night of the hearing, when he was mad as a murder hornet, he asked me what I thought about Mark Twain, and I said, A, I like him. B, he's very smart. C, he's a very good businessman. And D, if I didn't believe the three things I just told you, I'd lie to you because Mark Twain would whip my ass.
What the hell's a murder hornet? That's what I want to know.
Well, he's got
Louisiana
that down
thing
home.
or something?
Yeah, southern. Yeah, he's a
Is
southern.
that a special hornet from down in Louisiana way, or?
I've heard of murder hornets.
Really?
I mean, I don't think it's a special thing, but they're especially angry.
An angry hornet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you've ever been around hornets or been hit like with the yellow jacket nest.
Oh yeah, I stepped through one as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it as an adult. Fortunately, I don't have issues with it, but I was mowing and I hit one, and we were sitting there just picking stingers out of my legs.
Yeah.
About 40 or so. So they can.
But the murder hornet is not like the African killer bee or something. It's not like a special.
I don't believe
hornet.
so. I think it's a colloquialism, but I don't know. I'm not a
speech. Yeah.
Yeah. People are saying it's a Asian hornet, and others people are
Do
saying
people know in the chat what that hornet
well, we
is?
got the green hornet, Bruce Lee.
The green hornet, we know that. But the murder hornet, wow.
Yep. So she's out now. His last little bit, though, about how even if I didn't believe those things, I would tell you anyway because he would kick my ass.
Yeah.
Well,
what's that about?
This is the new guy, so there could be drama with him as well.
Mr. O'Brien himself, his behavior, as everybody knows, and it's here. And the last time, him and I kind of had a back and forth. Appreciate your demeanor today. It's quite different. But after you left here, you got pretty excited about the keyboard. In fact, you tweeted at me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And let me read what the last one said. It said, greedy CEO who pretends like he's self-made. Sir, I wish he was in the truck with me when I was building my plumbing company myself, and my wife was running the office because I sure remember working pretty hard and long hours.
Damn.
Pretends like he's self-made. What a clown.
Whoa.
Fraud.
Whoa.
Always has been, always will be.
Fighting words.
Quit the tough guy
Keep
act
watching.
in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy.
How about right now?
Sir, this is a time, this is a place.
Let's go.
Run your mouth. We can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Let's
That's
go.
fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand
Let's
up
go.
on him.
Oh, hold on.
Big guy.
Oh, stop it.
Is that your
All right.
solution every problem?
No, sit down. Sit down. Okay. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Oh, okay.
Sit down, please.
Bernie,
All right.
Can I respond, Mr.
Hold
Chairman?
it.
You
Hold
can't
it.
do that. You're a senator. Stop it.
If
Hold
we
on.
can't, no,
This is
I have
what
the
he
mic.
said.
I'm sorry.
This is
Hold
what
it.
he said.
You'll
Wait a
have
minute.
your time.
I have no hair left. I have nothing.
Anyway, so
It would have
he's
been like South Korea where they go at it, you know, with
Oh,
those
yeah.
parliamentary fights.
yep.
I think the guy testifying might have lost in like 31 seconds. He might have been pinned.
Well, that guy, Sean O'Brien, I think his name is, wound up endorsing Trump in 2024, famously.
Okay.
So it was kind of funny. But yeah, that particular senator who's going to be the head of Homeland Security, was an MMA fighter, from what I understand.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So, yeah, I think
How many
that
guys do you know that have a name stuck to another name attached to their first name?
Not many, but that might be why he used it.
Oh, frozen Hunley.
Sorry, that might be why he was an MMA fighter. You know, like
Oh, that's like a stage name or something?
Yeah, or if everybody's gonna make fun of his ass, so he learned to fight growing up.
Or like a boy named Sue?
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. Mark Wayne. It's like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Mark Wayne. Okay, so what happens to Mark Wayne now? He just abandons the Senate and moves back to Oklahoma?
I'm not sure because there is a quote Republican governor, but that governor of Oklahoma hates Trump, and you
Right,
could potentially be getting kind of like a DeWine situation,
Right.
where you can get another rhino, you can get somebody very weak.
Yes.
We'll see what happens on that. I don't know, but
Well, you know my rules. I mean, and it's not just my rules that I was taught to
Sure.
by my grandfather. I mean, you don't give up a Senate seat for another appointment thing. You just don't give up elected seats for any fucking thing on the earth. And Trump continues to not give a shit about this old school rule,
No, he
street
doesn't.
level politics, and he will pay a price once again. Because Witt, what's the guy's name? Witt out there in Oklahoma, the governor.
Something like that. I don't remember his name, but yeah, not a fan of Trump.
Not a fan of Trump, and he can appoint himself if
Which he
wants.
probably will, because he's term limited.
That's right, and he will then burn Trump's ass for the next 6 years, taking up the mantle of the guy that Trump is about to endorse in Texas, who has burned his ass for 6 years, that being Cornyn. So Trump has complained about Cornyn, but let me just finish with Oklahoma, because he continues to violate one of the essential rules of American politics, that you don't give up a major seat for an appointment job like Department of Homeland Security, where her second in command could easily run the department and not make a big deal out of it. Okay.
Or Honan, just give it to Honan. Let him promote it.
Anybody could do this, but Trump is now willing to gamble a United States Senate seat, one of the highest chess pieces on the board, to merely have this cat run the Department of Homeland Security. It's insane. I guess the only logic I could give to him in his favor is that he wants a quick confirmation process or something to put this guy into power, and doesn't want to get into a confirmation fight. But nevertheless, Witt, the governor, is a Trump hater who, even if he doesn't appoint himself, could appoint someone who does hate Trump also. So, and that being said, the election, you know, the temporary person has to run for election anyway, Eric. You know what I mean? And there's supposed to be some letter you're supposed to sign, but it's not a legal letter in the state of Oklahoma. If there's any Oklahoma friends out there from the show, maybe you could chime in. There seems to be some letter you're supposed to sign that you would not run. Right. But it's not legal. It's just a
tradition.
Tradition, and we know how far these traditions go today in American politics. So he can either appoint himself or an apparatchik who's going to get out and endorse him, because as Eric said, this guy is term limited, and again, he seems to violate things, Trump, that have no reason to benefit him. Not only does he violate these traditions, they don't benefit him to violate them. There used to be a guy named Jeff Sessions, who was a senator from the great state of Alabama, who he had to remove from that Senate seat to become the attorney general so he could stab him in the back, leave, and replace himself with a special prosecutor. But yet he's got a short learning curve. He is going to endorse, I predict, Cornyn down in Texas, even though the people of Texas want Paxton. Paxton is supposedly ahead in the polls. He's being outspent, I think, about 8-1 by Cornyn. And Trump apparently is on the eve of, again, endorsing someone who has burned him 100 times. When here's a chance to get, every time there's a chance to get rid of one of these rhinos, like a Lindsey Graham, like a Cornyn, he fucking endorses them. And then complains every time they stab him in the back. It's like the scorpion and the frog. It's just astounding how many times this has happened, Eric.
There is an interesting thing on the side. One of our viewers, Pamela, wrote in, and she had mentioned Attorney General. And I don't know if it would happen, but it would be interesting if he, let's say, picked Paxton to replace Bondi as Attorney General.
Yeah, so it's never going to happen, bro.
Bad.
It's never going to happen. That's some fantasy parlor room bullshit. He's going to endorse Cornyn, and that's going to be the end of Paxton. I wish it was true, but these are these fantasies that MAGA world comes up with, thinking that he's playing 19-dimensional chess. He got rid of Gnome. Will he get rid of Bondi? Who knows? The Gnome dismissal was really just waiting till the dust settled from, as you showed in that thing, it was the debacle of Minnesota. He just didn't want to give him a scalp back then. But he sure as hell has given them a scalp now with her. I mean, that commercial, by the way, is so insane with her on the horse, Eric. I mean, I as I've said, I've complained about these beauty queen appointments. And there is a photo of one of her staffers putting makeup on her chin while she's on the horse. And here we have Iranian possible terrorists going within the country because of the international developments. And she's on a horse with her staffer putting makeup on her chin. I can't complain any more than I already have about these beauty queens who are usually in their 30s or 40s and very conscious, as most women of that age rightfully are, about their looks. However, we don't have that luxury to have them deal with this stuff on the job. And, you know, I'm trying not to sound misogynist, but, you know, and this is a woman thing, and I don't begrudge them at all, you know, for dealing with their looks in the 40s and later in life. However, we don't have the luxury on the job for someone to be on a horse making a commercial for millions of dollars with her staffers putting makeup on their face.
It's worse too. I mean, like this right here. This was a complete embarrassment of an answer.
Secretary Noem, at any time during your tenure as Director of Department of Homeland Security, have you had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee today.
Reclaiming
And
my
ma'am,
time.
one thing that I would tell you is that he is a special government employee who works for the White House. There are thousands of them in the federal government.
What's missing? There's something missing that she's not
The
saying.
answer, no.
Well,
The
right.
word no.
And she just
Maybe
goes
my
on
time
and
advisory.
on and on. So this,
Get
in
rid
my
of her.
opinion, statement
You're
of
right.
it's
You're
yes.
right. You're right. I mean, it's just glad to see her go. She never should have been appointed. He should never have been in there. But, you know, not to just put blame on the women. I mean, there are guys like this guy out in Texas right now, Representative Tony Gonzalez, who's got 6 kids out there, who now has to give up his seat, this piece of shit in Texas, who's banging broads left and right, not to, you know, focus on just women doing wrong. But this guy Gonzalez is out now because he couldn't keep his thing in his pants. And now he's not going to run. And we're going to have to battle for money, blood, and treasure for that seat in Texas now because of this
Herrera is in there. He is officially the Republican candidate, and Gonzalez barely beat him a couple other times. Herrera is a very well-known social media guy. He's a gun guy, has a very strong following behind him, and that is a very ruby red district. So it may not be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I would much rather have Herrera than the guy who has an AIDS, who self-emulates because of their affair. I mean, that's as dark as you can get. It's like Gonzalez had to go. I mean,
no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
So anyway, I think there's fewer worries with Herrera in that particular district than with Cornyn, say. as
well, I mean, look, I mean, the people of Texas have to step up here and not get caught up in some phony scandals about Paxton and his wife and whatever bullshit. Cornyn is going scorched earth now. And, you know, this is what you wanted. You wanted Paxton. You want to get rid of this guy. This is up to you. Whether you stick to your guns in Texas and stick with Paxton, you got to live there, bro. I don't have to live there. This is 6 years of this guy again. And then you're going to start crying like a baby when Cornyn starts fucking you in the ass in Texas. And here you've got an opportunity to drive a stake through his heart, and you're going to be dissuaded. I don't care if Trump endorses Mother Teresa. You got to do what you got to do down there in Texas.
Yeah, I'm also worried about the Mark Wayne thing. You know, I hate to go back to it, but it does make me wonder. The guy spent, I think, 3 or 4 terms in Congress. This is his first Senate term. He's got about 3 years in.
Yeah.
Why would you leave a Senate seat?
No,
it's a long term. I mean, you could.
Bro,
that's a lifelong
insane.
political position.
It's insane
for a cabinet position.
It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in years. It's since Jeff Sessions. I mean, yeah. I'll go that far back. You don't give up the prize of the fucking Senate to be the head of Homeland Security or any other.
Secretary of State, maybe that's big, but I don't know. Even
sorry,
or Supreme Court Justice. If Cruz gets that would make sense.
I guess. How often does that come up?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. But the other Texas senator,
right? Are you going to take Ted Cruz out of there now, Trump, and leave another guy to be appointed in the Senate when you have Cornyn in there?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't know what their internal polling is saying. And I don't mean the horse race itself. I mean the overall long-term strategy of keeping Texas red. And I'm not privy to their strategy, but maybe they've got some internal polling that says this is the best we could do with a state that's flipping. I don't know. But, you know, Paxton was a fighter. This guy deserves to be in the Senate. Trump deserves to endorse him on behalf of the American people, and Cornyn is going to stab him in the back. You know, Cruz would be a perfectly fine Supreme Court justice, but I'm sure there's other people where you don't have to lose a Senate seat.
True. That one, though, is I don't mind that because, again, that's a lifelong position, and he is particularly powerful.
He's never disagreed with Trump.
Correct.
So no, I'm saying he has disagreed with Trump many times. And once he gets that job, you may see the old Ted Cruz coming back out again, knowing that he doesn't have to kiss anybody's ass on the face of the earth.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, disagreeing with somebody and voting against them, name one time he voted against Trump.
Oh, that I don't know. I'd have to go through his voting record. I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to look at it.
He's been one of the most stalwart.
You're saying he's never voted against Trump?
Not that I know of. He's been stalwart.
Somebody in the
Trump
chat's going to have to find that out. I don't know his record, but I mean, he's clearly made statements against Trump.
But when he's right, I mean, hell, Rubio said a lot of shit against Trump, for God's sake.
Yeah. I would be scared to have Rubio as a Supreme Court judge too. But I'll tell you this thing, speaking of Rubio, he's going to take this Cuban thing under his belt and roll with this ending of the Cuban dictatorship down there. I think Rubio is going to spearhead this thing because, you know, Trump said their days are numbered down there and Cuba's next. I think this is going to be something that Rubio is going to be rubbing his hands about and taking this on personally on behalf of the Miami Cubans and the entire community down there. This is going to be fun for Rubio.
Well, I mean, yes, he has that background.
He has that background. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, having a Jew run the Nuremberg trials. You know, this is going to be great for Rubio, and he knows all the players. He know just to fill in people at home who haven't followed this story recently. The Department of Justice is going to federally indict members of the Castro regime, and thereby allowing the legal framework to take down the Castro regime. They will be indicted, and I predict within a week or two, and then the wheels will start turning about trying to take down the Castro regime once and for all. So I'm very excited about this because this will finally bring an end to the Bay of Pigs and this debacle in American politics that has lingered, for 60 years. I mean, this thing has never been wrapped up, and Trump's going to wrap it up.
It'll definitely be interesting. So they're using the same justification as Venezuela then?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And I'll tell you something else. The entire Venezuela timing of Maduro was to get the oil because of the oil that's going to be cut off from Iran. The brilliance of this move, which they might have done a little bit earlier, but nevertheless, the entire Venezuelan thing was to make an oil deal in anticipation of the Iranian invasion, in my humble opinion.
Well, I think it's already working because it was brought up earlier when people were arguing, yes, gasoline prices are up, but compared to when we bombed Libya, it is, I think, $85 a barrel versus $129.
Oh, yeah, no, right.
So, I mean,
right. Yeah,
and I just got gas yesterday and it was like $3.25. In the middle of a war, that's pretty damn good.
Okay. Burgum just got back from Venezuela, and he's working on that deal to get Venezuela oil quickly into here. Halpern's been screaming and yelling that the reserves are only at 40%, and they should have been at 100 before they went in.
But yeah,
you heard that, right? I mean, he's just hammering them. They don't have a plan. I suggest that the plan was to take down Venezuela in anticipation of the invasion of Iran. And they're linked together. The timing of them are linked together. Is there a bump in the road? Of course, there's going to be a bump in the road, and it's gone up a number of cents. But nevertheless, they will use Venezuela for a number of things. One, to fill up our own reserves. Two, obviously now to fuck China in the ass. Three, to take down Cuba. And four, to allow the loss of oil from the Iranian invasion not to affect us domestically.
But also, he's not only doing Venezuela, but they are focusing hard on whatever's left of the Iranian Navy.
No, there's nothing left there. I mean,
but what I'm saying is, though, as soon as you lock them down, and they can't screw with the.
Is there anything left, Eric, that you see on the board? I mean, I think that
there enough for them to slow down ships, but
really, okay. But I thought they were completely demolished. But nevertheless, this story from the Washington Post today that neocons are jumping on, I just want to debunk this because this Washington Post story is a lie, and neocons are all over it on Newsmax saying it is true, that the Russians and the Chinese are arming and rearming the Iranians. Now, it's the front page of the Washington Post, huge story. Neocons are jumping all over. It's a complete lie. It's a complete lie. Nobody's gotten one rocket into that fucking country from China or from Russia. It's a complete bullshit story. I was surprised, and then I realized the generals and shit who were on TV were looking for it to expand this to include China and Russia. Trump's not going to take the bait on this, nor has anything been recorded of getting through our naval blockade of Iran. And I went, whoa, man, that was a bold leap today by the Washington Post.
Well, I mean, they're following the Tucker Carlson plan where he said that Mossad is in Saudi Arabia bombing them and Qatar, to the point that the foreign minister of Qatar actually had to come out and say that was a lie. So
that's a podcast, Eric. This is the front page in a war of the Washington Post saying that two major enemies of the United States are arming Iran. I mean, that's extremely fucking provocative. You got to put up or shut up with a headline like that. I mean, that is really dark, bro. Not to mention NBC putting on the foreign minister of Iran in prime time, Eric. I mean, why not put Goebbels on in the middle of World War II on NBC? What, are you kidding me with this? The guy, they were saying he was like a Baghdad Bob. You know,
I know. What was it, Chuck, or the guy on two-way said Tehran Tom.
Tehran Tom or something?
Yeah, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, nevertheless, why give this guy the airtime other than you're demonstrating your disloyalty to the troops, the American troops, the American military? Do you really need the foreign minister of Iran using valuable peoples of the United States licensed airtime to broadcast to 360 million Americans when we're at war with Iran? Give me a fucking break. NBC should be cited by the FCC, fined and taken down for this. It's outrageous, Eric. Outrageous.
Yeah,
Why not put the Ayatollah on? If they could find an Ayatollah number 3.
Well, I mean, you saw the New York Times obituary for him. That you know.
Yeah. Well, they're having a rally right now at Ground Zero for him.
With his flowing beard and avuncular personality.
Yeah.
And, oh, he's a smiling
Avuncular this, you
Ayatollah.
piece of shit. He's got his 72 virgins. Oh, they're having a rally right now at Ground Zero for the death of Khomeini.
Well,
You're telling me, where are the hard hats
by the way,
from the
which
Nixon
Khomeini?
era? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say which Khomeini, because they did vote his son as the next supreme leader, and he was in power for 2 hours.
How long was the second Khomeini the head of Iran?
The one who just died last weekend.
Yeah. How long was he in charge?
89, I think, is when he took over, right?
No. I mean, the kid, how many minutes was he in charge?
I said it was 2 hours.
2 hours. Okay. Well,
Gilligan's Island lasted longer if you went on the 3-hour tour.
Do you get any benefits for the 2 hours, or is it you don't get medical insurance, or you don't get?
I don't have to ask his family because he's not getting any benefits.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that was remarkable. I was wondering, because I heard that he got voted in and the place was bombed immediately after, but I had not heard if there were any casualties. Now I'm understanding that he was taken out 2 hours later.
Well, just to follow up on the domestic stuff, you've got early voting in Virginia, and then you got this Democrat, Seth Moulton, who brought the illegal pedo to the State of the Union address. I don't know where Seth Moulton is from. The Democrat brought this illegal pedo to the State of the Union, then hid him in his office afterwards because ICE there was a warrant for the guy. And I don't know if you saw this story. He's a little tiny guy with a goatee, young guy.
Oh, I thought that was that Fresno guy who was standing outside.
No. That's a separate story. That's a separate.
Okay. Well,
that guy's
I'm getting confused about my,
That guy's running for office. There's a guy that this guy, Seth Moulton, brought, and wherever Seth Moulton is from, that's where the guy is from. And he has sexual attacks on children on part of his record. He's an illegal alien, brought him to the State of the Union address, and then hid him in his office.
Massachusetts.
Thank you. Hid him in his office before and after, so ICE couldn't get this pedo guy. I mean, at what level is this guy allowed to do this, Eric?
I guess every level, because I don't see anything being done.
That's why I'm bringing it up. It just outraged me so much. I just want to put some voice behind it and just say, dude, this guy's got to be brought in. You can't just bring these guys in, hide them in your office. This guy sexually assaulted children, for Christ's sakes. Now, the story you're talking about, which is even crazier, is up in Fresno here in California, where this convicted pedo guy who's
on the register, standing
he's
outside.
already on the sex register, and he gives a speech 6 feet from a school, from an elementary school, and he's talking about why he should be allowed to be on the Fresno City Council because he's already has this stuff in his past. Now, he went to that school on purpose because Newsom has rescinded the law preventing people from being 1,500 feet from a school, and he wanted to show that law no longer exists. And it was overturned by Newsom and the Democrats in California after it was passed that you couldn't be within X amount of feet as a registered sex offender, as is common in every state in the union. They quietly, one day, decided to make it up to the judge or the authorities whether or not you violated a law that they will decide if you violated. I've never seen anything quite like it.
So he may have actually done a favor. Thank you for drawing our attention to this.
Yes. I thought that this, and everybody else thought that, and covered by the California Post, by the way, yesterday, everybody thought that this was the law of California and most states in the country. Apparently, they quietly got rid of it when the dust settled. And this guy was 6 feet from an elementary school. And if elected, that's where he's going to put his office.
Wow. Okay. Well,
yeah, dude,
I mean, I may have to step back and say that maybe he's actually doing something good, which is scary to think.
Right now, what's going on with early voting in Virginia? Because I understand there's 4 Democratic House seats that possibly could go in the other direction now. 4 seats that could possibly go in the blue direction out of Virginia.
Well, they're doing early voting for the redistricting
right.
in April, and I don't know at this point. I've got to look into which way to go on it, because they wanted it under Youngkin because the Republicans were in charge. Now everything's flipped, and the redistricting will be shoved up their ass, essentially. So I never thought about it. I think I'm going to have to vote against redistricting because, it's a power paradigm problem.
Wow. You see that thing? But we were criticizing Nancy Mace last week, but did you see that she came out and they blocked her subpoena on Omar? The rhinos in the House, plus all the Democrats, blocked her from bringing Omar in for questioning about her background, about her money, about her corruption. And Nancy Mace called out these rhinos. Again, they will drive a stake through anything we're trying to do. We criticized her last week for taking photos of Hillary Clinton. But this week, at least, she was trying to subpoena Ilhan Omar into coming into the House for questioning, to stand before the House. And she was blocked by the Dems combined with the rhinos. They didn't have enough votes, so they had to go across the aisle because she says they keep protecting her.
Which tells you that it's not only Gonzalez that has some problems in the House.
Yep.
There's another guy. Oh God, I forgot his name. I want to say Corey Hicks. I hope I'm not wrong, but for some reason that name popped in my head, who has a lot of weird things going on. And some of the things on the Democrats have been blocked because of a particular Republican that is being protected, from what I understand.
Oh, Jesus.
Because again, it's such a razor's edge of a majority that they're terrified that, oh shit, everybody's going to come out. And I'm kind of the mindset, it's like, let everybody who's dirty get busted. Let's clean house. Both sides. Clean house. It's ridiculous.
Right.
But I think that's probably what's going on.
Well, I like that they're going into Somali restaurants, ICE, and pulling them out of Somali restaurants. I mean, I thought they were done in Minnesota. They are going restaurant to restaurant now and yanking them out, Eric. There's great video of this.
Corey Mills.
Corey Mills.
I'm sorry. I couldn't remember the exact, but yes, there's a lot of weird stuff there from what I understand. And that might be why.
This ICE, number of videos that came out this week, I was relieved to see that ICE was not abandoning the state of Minnesota. I was very proud that they were still yanking them out of restaurants now, and restaurant owners and workers in there completely illegal.
Yeah. No, I agree. Oh, it was Boebert who took the picture, by the way.
Oh, Boebert, right. Sorry.
Mace is complaining about something else. I don't remember which.
Mace is the face for the Maze and Hardware store. There was something else I was going to tell you about. The SCOTUS unanimous decision sending federal judges off the case. They must refer these illegal alien cases back to the original immigration judges. 9-0 by SCOTUS, Eric, stabbing federal judges in the back who have been manipulating and toying with Trump's immigration policy. They voted 9-0, saying these federal judges have no right to deal with any of these immigration cases. Completely uncovered story, 9-0 slam dunk victory, a great victory for Trump. I don't know why there's no coverage of it, but nevertheless.
I think you know why there's no coverage of it.
Yeah, but I'm covering it, and I thought it was a great day to finally stab these federal judges in the back. 9-0, Eric.
Well, I think they're worried because remember, the federal judges technically are an extension of the Supreme Court. Like you could eliminate all federal judges.
Yep.
And the only judges that you can't get rid of is, I believe, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is the only person that absolutely has to exist. Don't know about the rest of the Supreme Court, but I think they're worried that it was getting to a head where if they keep this shit up, then he's going to do an Andrew Jackson, and then they don't have any, a lot of Supreme Court power is kind of an agreement with everyone.
Yeah.
But they don't have teeth themselves per se. So I think that's probably a survival situation where they're like, okay,
Well,
we can't have that. They're making us look like ass wipes.
Well,
here.
9-0 is so rare today. I was wondering
agree.
why the media wouldn't cover any 9-0. I don't care what the subject is. It could have been, baseball trading deadlines, and yet crickets out there, Eric.
Because it goes against the narrative.
Yeah, I know.
Next,
I know.
I mean, of course.
By the way, Pavlovi, just to finish up on some foreign stuff, has announced that he's ready to be the interim leader of Iran when called upon to do the job.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. I mean,
yeah, he's ready to go.
When or if, and we'll see. Yeah. I think it's a little early to say for sure, but we'll see.
Well, I mean, they have a army who they apparently, I don't know what their army is doing all day. They're not fighting.
They asked
anymore.
that on two-way. It is.
I know.
What
Do you think they're doing all day? Larry said that they're, working at Starbucks in Tehran trying to find other jobs.
I'm sure that they're consolidating their resources to try to fill the power vacuum that has taken place, because whoever controls the army controls Iran.
Which means that what you're implying, I gather, is that some general of the army could be a interim leader of Iran.
Very good chance. Very good.
Some normal guy who's not a psycho religious fanatic could be someone that can make a deal with the American military.
Well, let me put it this way. I was watching something, I think it might have been Freakonomics, but one of the Middle Eastern experts on it or what have you was talking about that the CIA had a quote, no kill list. So there are generals and military figures that are do not kill them.
These are guys we possibly could do business with. Yeah.
And I think
they have that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they probably have it with China too, right, Eric?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, guys that they think could be someone we could work with in the future.
It's somebody they probably have worked with, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
I mean, the infiltration is so deep in the Iranian government. You know that Israel's, at Mossad's worked with some of them. They
absolutely.
Knew everybody was.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, I mean, they knew this day was coming. I mean, it's like the foreign minister said, we've been preparing for this for years. I mean, they're not stupid. I mean, they knew that some day of reckoning was coming. That the world, unless it was Obama, was not going to give them a fucking nuclear weapon on a silver platter. We're just lucky that Trump is now reshaping the entire world. Nobody's even caught on to this yet, what he's doing. Nobody's really even, what's that?
I think is the 3D chess. I don't think he wants
absolutely.
I think it's move fast, and then talk about it after. But
he is reshaping the planet Earth in favor of American foreign policy at lightning speed. I did not see this coming. I did not see the Monroe Doctrine being enforced in the Western Hemisphere. He never ran on that. It's like shockingly, breathtakingly great that he's doing this, ousting the Cuban regime, the Venezuelan regime. Holy crap. I didn't even expect the Iranian regime. Here he's ended the war in Gaza. And, now he's dealing with Iran. Whether there's leadership change or not, he's going to decapitate them physically, take out their navy, take out their military, take out everything.
Nukes.
Take out
actually rip out the nukes.
Right.
That's really, I think, because look at Syria. The guy in charge of Syria is not our buddy, okay?
No,
and they're potentially
no, that's a holding guy. That's a guy holding it for a while.
Well, whatever. But we can have the same thing in Iran. But as long as they're defanged, they don't have to be our friends.
Look what he did in Venezuela. He put the woman who was a Trump hater psycho in place. As long as she gives us the oil, he'll let her stay there.
Exactly. And I think it might have to be
his
that
foreign
way.
policy is incredibly fresh and new. It's
Pragmatic.
decapitate, bring in the next guy, say, are you willing to do business with us? If not, we'll decapitate you too. I mean, I've never seen this done. I've never even heard of this. And it's just brilliantly working at lightning speed around the world. The other stick that he uses is these tariffs, which is why I'm not an economic guy. I love the political aspect of the tariffs. He told this guy from Spain yesterday to sit down and shut up. I don't know. I sent you a copy of this video. The head of Spain tried to shake his hand yesterday, and Trump told him to sit down and shut up in his chair. This guy tried to fuck us militarily, and Trump told him he'll have a boycott against an embargo against his nation, using the word embargo now. They try to fuck us in the UK. They quickly rescinded. But the Spanish guy lingered for a couple of days, and he told him to sit down and shut up. I mean, this is why I love embargoes. This is the big stick. This is what I'm not an economic guy, so I don't talk economics about the embargoes, but using it as a political club is what I love about it. They all buckle. That's why the war ended with Pakistan and India immediately. That's why he's able to end these wars saying, we'll fucking embargo you tomorrow unless you do what I say. I don't know why other presidents haven't done it, to be honest with you. It just seems it's there for you to use.
I don't know if anyone has.
Neither do I. It goes back to Teddy Roosevelt. I don't understand. Walk softly and carry a big stick. I don't get why others haven't done this.
Well, it's not just carry a big stick. You got to use the big stick.
Well, he uses it on occasion to show you right now. You got to demonstrate, and then they go batshit crazy. They yell about boots on the ground that never occur, and he demonstrates the big stick. I mean, it's a flawless policy. Minimal amount of deaths. Of course, we all are bereaved about the 6 losses of American life, but man, oh man, I mean, for the amount of military hardware they've thrown in there, it's been a relatively clean strike on Iran. And again, I'm reluctant to say war because it could end tomorrow, could end in 20 days, it could end in 16 days. We never really call these things wars here. The Israelis do, 6-day war, this war, that war, because they're very short. We don't traditionally do that here. We have invasions of Panama, Guatemala, but our wars semantically are ones that last for years. This is barely going to last a month.
But by the way, I just thought of something. You were bringing up the 6 who died, and I 100% do not want to lessen their deaths.
Nope.
It's huge.
Nope.
However, I do want to point out that that is less than half of the people who died when we pulled out of Afghanistan, when we were just leaving. So more people died at this point.
That's a good point.
When we were cowering out of Afghanistan.
Good point.
When we actually attacked Iran and took out, well, I mean, their entire leadership. I mean, more of their senior leadership died than U.S. Troops passed away. So it's just something to consider.
Speaking of naval stuff, one of the last foreign stories I thought we could cover was the lesbian ship captain in New Zealand, Eric, who ran the New Zealand naval vessel aground.
I don't get that. Did you want that Spain video or not?
Oh, yeah. Let me see the Spain video. Yeah, thank you. Wow. Sit down, shut up. It's like out of the Three Stooges. He's like, oh, no, I was just told to sit down and shut up. This is not good. Mi amigo, por favor. Sit down, shut up. Just shake my hand, you piece of shit. I showed up for an international conference. The President of the United States told me to sit down and shut up. This
Which is really embarrassing considering
kidding.
Trump crossed into the DMZ to shake hands with Kim Jong-un, but he wouldn't shake your hand. So that's
rightfully
really
so. This guy may have cost American lives. This piece of shit.
Yeah.
This grandstanding fucking global, World Economic Forum guy, grandstanding, trying to get his conservative political opponents demolished by bringing in hundreds of thousands of Africans and making them into Spanish citizens. Jesus Christ.
I don't disagree. I'm just pointing out the parallel there.
It's a good parallel. It's a great parallel.
But here's your New Zealand captain following the template of hiring people due to sexual status versus ability, it appears.
Dude, when you all of a sudden have to run a naval ship and run it aground, even if you're a guy, Eric, that is the most egregious career-ending situation in any Navy in the world. Female Navy commander faces court-martial. Thank God they're pursuing this.
I was on autopilot. Good God.
Oh my God! And she was watching Bravo at the time, from what I understand. She was watching Under the Sea or something on Bravo.
fun.
Commander Yvonne Gray was in charge of the HMN, His Majesty's New Zealand, something or other. And oh boy, that doesn't look good, Eric. Why are they all on the beach? Did their ship run aground right there?
I guess it was near Samoa. Well, I mean, it's way the hell down in the southern hemisphere.
Boy,
Wow.
the Chinese must be happy about this because they've been doing war games against Australia and New Zealand for years.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. And folks know Mark is joking about the Bravo show. Don't get too literal, folks. Don't
Oh
get
my
too
God!
literal.
Get off the spectrum, people. Come on.
He's
She
not
was watching
serious.
A&E's Shark Week. You retards.
He's joking.
It was Shark Week she was watching. She wouldn't be
Oh, my
watching
God.
Bravo. That's for heterosexual women.
Yes. Now there is a case of a naval. I'm not going to say officer because it's the most senior NCO on a ship who was trying to watch things. So they brought Starlink onto
Oh, right.
the,
I remember that.
naval vessel. So
Yeah.
in that case, yes, that was to watch TV.
I thought
that
so.
They
Right.
literally brought internet into one of the most secure places on the planet, and threatening hundreds of lives potentially. So it has happened, but not.
Yeah. Not here. Not in this particular lesbian battleship case.
No, but she's going to join up with the Pacific Palisades LA fire chief, and they can go together and hang out, I guess.
You can't make this up. This kind of news makes its own sauce. I swear to God. I wish I was a comedian because this stuff makes its own sauce. It really
Can you
does.
imagine Norm Macdonald now?
Dude,
I mean,
he'd be having a field day right now.
oh my God, he was just destroying the Clintons and OJ.
No, he had
but
not,
now it's just
he
like
didn't have enough
unlimited
news to work with.
material.
That's why Corolla can't go to sleep anymore. He's got like 100 billion followers now, Corolla, because he's got fucking comedy gold.
Yeah,
Or just a final international story before we switch to domestic. A woman named Calla Walsh. She used to be Elizabeth Warren's staffer, chief staffer. There's video of her with the Iranian military, like Hanoi Jane. This is the equivalent. The first thing that came to my mind was Hanoi Jane Fonda during the Vietnam War, sitting on the back of an anti-aircraft battery with the North Vietnamese. This chick is over there wearing a hijab on her head, just stroking these missiles or doing something over there with the Iranian military. It's absolutely shocking.
Let's see.
It's incredibly powerful to be standing amongst the missiles, the drones that are resisting U.S. imperialism.
You know what she looks like?
Who?
Kamala's daughter.
I don't know. I'd have to
Kinda
look at
resembles her.
that. I don't
And
remember.
Zionism that have launched historic strikes on the heart of the genocidal Zionist entity. And
Wow.
what's notable about Iran's missile program and drone development is that it is entirely indigenous to the country. Iran has been forced in this context to develop a really, really strong indigenous program to develop its own
Indigenous,
weapons.
that's
And this
twice.
is why today it is so effective in resisting imperialism, not just
How's it
in the
working out?
territory of Iran, but also supplying these weapons, these systems, and this knowledge of this production to the entire axis of resistance, from Palestine to Yemen to Lebanon.
Now, keep in mind that this is the staffer for United States Senator. This is not a random Jane Fonda lefty as an individual going over there and writing a book or making a documentary or being an actress. This Contessa went over there as an American citizen to promote this insane Iranian jingoism and their military, being used as a tool by these ayatollahs who would kill her for her sexual practices as an American heterosexual woman. It is astounding. It reminds me of what the left would do with vicious communist regimes in the 60s and 70s. That's why I mentioned Jane Fonda, who would have been imprisoned under communist rule in Cambodia and Vietnam, based on her domestic lifestyle. This chick also, but she's working for Elizabeth Warren, for Christ's sakes. That's why she kept saying the word indigenous, Eric, because of the indigenous phony nature of Elizabeth Warren's
Why
Native
didn't you
American.
say Pocahontas? Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Anyway, I didn't want to let her off the hook before I don't know where she is now, but we're at a war with these people. And this chick's over there pointing out the incredible erotic nature of their missiles.
you know, it's people like that that make me question
the system we have.
Well, no, you love them, move there. And right now, here's some trivia for you. Did you know that the one thing that's so sacred in the United States is citizenship? So you cannot exile or deport somebody. You can execute them. That's constitutional. But deporting or exiling somebody is unconstitutional. Can we revisit that?
Yeah, I think we should revisit that and get this woman out there as a test case.
It's like you love them. You
no, but
embrace-
the idea of this
them, move on.
love it or leave it thing, and it's not about loving it or leaving it anymore. They want to stay here and undermine the nation that they're in. That's the game. So they don't want to move to these places. They're inside the empire. They want to destroy the empire from within. Doesn't help them to move to Iran. They're here inside helping them do their bidding. That's why it makes them so dangerous. We're the only country that has that luxury, a negative luxury. You know, the fact that we have so much freedom that it's hard to fight our enemies once they're inside the gate. And I've racked my brain since I was a teenager to figure out how to deal with this, because it goes back to the McCarthy era of what do you do under FDR when communists have infiltrated your administration? You know, Whittaker Chambers and people have been dealing with this since the 1930s. And I don't know what the answer is, to be honest with you.
But in cases like that, I mean, you're providing aid and comfort to the enemy, in my opinion.
Right, we're right. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
That's a
and
good one. Well, so was Jane Fonda, but nothing happened to her.
Is it free speech? And at one point, is it seditious or treasonous? And I think we really need to look
every
at some
once
of
in a while, you got to fry a couple of Rosenbergs to keep these people in line. I don't know who the Rosenbergs are in this particular era, but, you know, at some point, you have to make an example of somebody in that area that Eric's talking about.
Yeah. And I like void her passport. Again, though, she doesn't have to travel to screw us over here.
No, they don't care about that. That's what I just said. It's not about traveling. They're working internally to undermine the foundation of the United States. They're working with our enemies. Look at how many Chinese people, look how many Chinese intellectual academics we've deported back to China who've been caught by the FBI stealing secrets from us. Okay, instead of jailing them, we're sending them back to China. Boo-hoo. Boo fucking who.
Yeah, this is a valid point here. Most important thing is to find out who her handler is.
Well, I would start with Elizabeth Warren, who's her boss. That's a good handler. I mean, how about she works for the United States Senate, for Christ's sakes? How many secret documents has she seen as an upper-level staffer for Elizabeth Warren, for Christ's sakes? How many times has she been in that skiff, Eric?
I have no idea. And I don't know what her position, but yes, it would be worth investigating her.
Okay.
She's out there mouth. No, I mean, let's go find out who is she talking to? And, why don't we have McCarthy hearings again?
I don't know. I'm definitely for that for sure. I mean, okay, we covered Cuba. I think we're done with these foreign things. Unless you got something.
Let's jump onto a subject that we've been discussing, and waiting for the other shoe to drop. And your friend Britney.
Hey, that and Shia LaBeouf this week. I mean, I got Shia and now Britney. Drew and I argued about this when her conservatorship was overruled by the court. And I said it was a death sentence. And now she is, again, back into drugs and alcohol, as I predicted would happen. She just has to die. I mean, there's just no way around it. The conservatorship has been removed and she's gone batshit crazy. I don't know any other solution for her at this point other than just let her go like anybody else.
Well, I mean, she potentially broke the law. She had
Yeah.
narcotics on her. She
Yeah.
could go to prison. Maybe.
Oh yeah,
Maybe that
again,
would
but
help.
they will not put her in prison in the state of California. I
Yeah.
mean, they could sentence her to rehab, I guess. You know, I mean, it depends, you know, how she lawyers up and they get her off with her. I mean, it's so ridiculous because that conservatorship was working, and a lot of people don't like it. But in her particular case, I thought it was highly effective because she's batshit crazy and so into drugs and alcohol and is sitting on a ton of money. And it was being controlled by the courts, for better or for worse. But now it's just complete, like Shia. I mean, Shia's got a lot of money too. I mean, he's made a lot of movies, and he's completely off the rails. Apparently going into Angola prison to make a prison movie. Well, that's why he was in New Orleans. I mean, this is not gonna end well for Shia down there.
So what he's trying to, I thought you were researching the part, not trying to do it firsthand.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to leave at the end of the day, Shia, not a
Now he can't
not
leave.
established residence.
As they said, now you can't leave because he's got court cases in New Orleans. He's been told he can't leave. He's out on bail in New Orleans.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with her. I thought it was interesting that her manager released a pretty harsh statement, though. I mean, he was like, "This is some, bullshit," essentially, and just trashed her up and down. So he wasn't coddling her. And then, like, even this dude who's a dancer with her, he's known her, I guess, for 23 years or something. He is saying he wants to see her get the hell out of LA.
It's not, that's called a geographic in addiction terms. It doesn't matter where you live. Drugs are everywhere. That's called a geographic, by the way, in terminology. She needs to be incarcerated, and she needs to feel the full brunt of the law, like anybody else. If she was a black prostitute, she'd be incarcerated right now in the Women's House of Detention in Sylmar or wherever the hell it is. That's how she's got to be treated. It's enough already. And I don't mean that to be rude, but I mean, there's so many people I know who are in recovery today went to prison, and including Downey, including some other friends of mine who had to go to prison to get into recovery full time. And it's a thing where judges would send people to meetings with a court card, and the left has decimated that entire area of recovery because they're so opposed to prison. And it's led, again, Democratic policies, as I've always said, lead to people dying. They're not just policies. They're not intellectual think tank things. They lead to the death of Americans.
Do prisons sometimes, and I'm not saying it always works, do they sometimes work because you can't check yourself out? Like people check themselves out of the rehabs, like, oh, I'm good now. Whereas prison's like, no, your sentence is till this damn
Okay,
time.
so just to be frank, despite the fact that you can get drugs in prison, which everybody knows, getting into an AA program in prison is considered the gold standard and what people want to do. It is hard to get in there. People are desperate in prison to get into those AA programs and NA programs in the joint because it's considered a luxury, and everybody wants in. The hierarchy, just so you know, the strata in prison life is long-termers get into AA and NA because they've been there the longest, and they cherish it. They cherish it. They do not want to give up seats in an AA meeting in a prison that are limited to short-termers. They won't let you in. That's how valuable it is for their lives and serenity inside of a prison.
Sirhan, right?
Sirhan, absolutely. He's gone to AA for over a decade. Because when you're long-term, it's something you cherish because you're able to maintain sobriety in prison. It's hard to keep using drugs and alcohol in prison. You need money. I mean, you could do anything short term. It's hard if you're doing long time to maintain drug addiction in prison. You need money. You got to do things. It's just, you try to find a solution. And the recovery programs are limited by space and time. So they don't want short termers in there, Not that they're being cruel to them. It's just that they're trying to save their own asses, and they don't have the luxury of space and time within the joint to have everybody in there who wants to be in there. So the long-termers who are in there, they may come out of prison with 6 years clean and sober, Eric, you know, and then they're a totally workable person in American society. Going in and out for a rinse and a wash is not what the prison program is about. Those people can't get in there. What happens is the long-termers will come out with 12 years sober, 4 years sober, 3 years sober, 8 years sober, and then they just go to meetings on the outside. Once they get out and they're perfectly able to blend in, they'll go to a halfway house when they get out for 6 months and then fit into society. The Democrats have decimated that entire area of recovery across the country. Nobody knows about this because they're not hip to it. But they've, again, with their policies, have decimated this. And now we're seeing people coming out without an ounce of sobriety and going back to crime. But for her, she's got to either be remanded into custody, you know, for a period of time and be forced into some sort of program. Or have the conservatorship again, which they apparently didn't like.
I think you met her at one time, or is that something?
Oh yeah, yeah. She came to my rehab, and we didn't have the right. Either the menu was no good, or the thread count on the cotton sheets was below her and her mother's standards. So she passed on my place.
Wonder how prison thread counts would work for her.
I'd like her to find out, because I think Downey found out the hard way, and he's thankful that he did, even to this day in Corcoran State Prison.
Yeah. From what I understand, and he doesn't really talk about it a lot, which is probably by design, he seems to be doing well.
Yeah, it's going to be Dr. Doom soon for the Marvel Universe.
All right. Well, on the flip side of our drug stories, I can't help but laugh at this one.
Wow.
Some New Jersey Girl Scouts got into some hot water because they started selling Girl Scout cookies outside the dispensary.
Oh my God, that's crazy!
You gotta give it to them.
You gotta give it to them. Yeah, brilliant marketing. Give me 20 boxes. I've got the munchies.
And apparently, some of the people were going to see them first before going in the dispensary. They were so
funny.
About the
That's funny.
cookies. But people are upset with them in the group, and I'm thinking that might be a little bit of jealousy, that other groups are probably saying these stupid bitches are making so much money and we're not making that money. That how dare you do that? So I thought that was
that's a good one.
There's
one more drug story, which is not really a drug story, but Daryl Hannah, I believe, will be suing Ryan Murphy. I predict. She had a op-ed today in the New York Times attacking Ryan Murphy for depicting her as a coke snorting lover of JFK Jr. This thing is not going to end well for Ryan Murphy, who I think has gone megalo. We're savagely taught by lawyers in the screenwriting business that you can't, in a biopic of any sort, get into the intimacy of a dead person and their lover, because the only person who you could do it with two dead people because you don't know what happened. But when you've got a dead person and a living person, and you've got the living person doing things that you don't know about, and you're just making shit up, you are so legally vulnerable, Eric, that I can't even tell you. Her lawyers must be salivating over how much money they're going to take Ryan Murphy for. And I think Hulu, whoever greenlit this thing, has to be out of their minds. Having her, she's never snorted coke in her life. She's actually autistic. She's actually has every legal right to sue Murphy and Disney. And I believe that she will get an enormous settlement out of this from what they've depicted her as. I mean, it's just crazy that they did this.
Yeah, if you don't have proof,
it's not a question of proof. It's when your script is vetted by the lawyers at the production company, they simply look at it and they go, you could do it on the outside, but you can't go into the bedroom because there's nobody in the bedroom but the person and the other person. So in other words, Daryl Hannah is having sex with JFK Jr. You can't put anything out of whatever's not from Daryl Hannah's mouth into your script. It's just, it's vetting 101 in screenwriting. And I think Murphy has gone insane. His last series about Ed Gein, the serial killer, was so bad, even I couldn't watch it. It was about serial killers. He has gone off the rails now, Murphy, who's a big producer out here, big showrunner of these series. He's made a lot of money for a lot of people, but this is going to cost a lot of money to a lot of people. Daryl Hannah apparently did not wake up this morning and call the New York Times. I believe her lawyers are working with her, and she had a op-ed denouncing Ryan Murphy today in the New York Times, and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Well, while we're on the JFK line story, that's JFK Jr., let's talk about his grandson.
Oh, what happened with him, by the way? Schlossberg?
Schlossberg. Well, this is the latest.
Is he running for that seat, or
yes,
no?
he is.
Oh my God.
Here's the latest from him.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
Jack Schlossberg since deleted social media post. He designed a recipe for a Maha energy ball. Here it is.
Did?
Yes. Here it is. Ready? You ready? Quote, 2 ounces of Jew blood. Ashkenazi, not Sephardic. 4 cups of male.
What?
This is what the Schlossberg guy said?
Baked at 300
God.
degrees until totally dry, like your wife.
What?
He's a classy
Dude, oh my God. Oh my God. That's insane.
Yeah.
Boy,
And
this guy's a piece of work, Eric.
Well, and if anybody wants to read it on the screen, there's a screenshot.
Let me see. I want to read it on the screen. 1 part fresh coconut, 2 parts Jew blood, 4 cups of male jizz, bake at 300 degrees until totally dry, like your wife. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my
Now there's
God.
trolling, and that's just sick.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Wow.
Anyway,
Speaking of sick, did you see the mayor of San Francisco, how heroic he was?
I did. I can't show it on here because of YouTube, but yeah, what a piece of garbage. I mean, it's obviously he's the guy who was a Levi Strauss fortune guy, right? He is so elite that he just was. I think his mind was, oh, that's the staff; they'll take care of it, and I'll just walk away.
What Eric's describing is one of the bodyguards of Mayor Levy of San Francisco, who's standing in the middle of a street in San Francisco with his hands in his pockets, while the bodyguard is wrestling, also in a suit and tie, wrestling with a knife-wielding homeless guy in a battle to the death, while another homeless guy, who will also get involved in the skirmish, he watches this thing going down from about 10 feet away, doing absolutely nothing, calling absolutely no one, doing nothing, watching his bodyguard fight to the death with this knife-wielding homeless guy, and then simply walks away at the end with his hands in his pockets. It's gone viral.
Well, no, he walked away while it was happening. He
That's
just
what I'm saying.
got bored.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's sitting there still struggling for his life.
No. He walks away, and then the other homeless guy gets on top of him. And I don't know what happened to the bodyguard or not, whether he's alive or dead. But Levi just strolls away as if nothing is happening. I mean, the body language alone is breathtaking. There's nothing of excitement to him. He's just looking at this like he's watching an MMA match, and his hands are in his pocket in a suit and tie. And I guess we could play it when we go over to Locals if you want to come over there and see it. But man, oh man, you got to check this out. This thing's gone uber viral now. And he's now claiming he understands the problem with San Francisco that normal people have to deal with, that it's an unsafe city. He's trying to spin it as a revelation for himself.
Well, I'm sure he's going to try to say that it was some case of obviously a psychological answer where we trivialize violence, and he's found himself to be a victim. And the city, I could just imagine.
Well, he's now called
bullshit.
San Francisco a broken city today. He's come out and denounced the city of San Francisco, calling the city broken.
Well, sure. It starts at the top. You're the mayor.
Well, he came in as a reformer. That's why I'm mentioning it.
Yeah.
He allegedly came in as a reformer.
Right. Yeah, I know. We were kind of semi-supporting the guy, going, "Oh, hopefully he gets there." But
well, he didn't need the money. It's like they can't. You know, I mean, once you get these wealthy guys in there, at least the financial corruption goes out the window. It doesn't mean they're competent, but the financial corruption goes out the window, which in California is breathtakingly important because now. So just to get back to the ballot initiative, where we're talking about the Save America Act with voting ID in California, the people have spoken and they have put together 1.3 million signatures so far to get the voter ID onto the ballot in November, Eric. The voter ID would be a ballot initiative. You need, I think, 875,000 to get something on the ballot here. And they now have which is early on, they have 1.3 million signatures. 50%, by the way, are Democrats of the signatures they have to get this voter ID thing on the ballot here and overcome the entire Democratic machine of the state of California. This is a revolution. That's why this is so important. It's not just about voter ID in the state of California. If this passes, if this somehow passes, gets on the ballot, it will take away their weapon of controlling the elections here in the state of California by using mail-in ballots and illegal names and dead voter lists. That's why this thing is so important. Now, in the past, what has happened is they control the counting of the signatures. And I would not be surprised if they simply said that you have 874,999 signatures. Sorry, tough luck. Because they've actually done that before, where they've eliminated almost the amount of signatures up to the amount you needed and just said, hey, tough luck, tough break. This is going to be watched a little bit more closely, I believe, but I wouldn't put it past them, Eric.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, while we're talking about some corrupt politicians, you know how Colorado has issues, including their Secretary of State, who
I don't know,
had the BS with Trump or whatever. Well, she is running right now for Attorney General and making some claims.
The leading Democratic candidate for Colorado Attorney General is making false claims about her qualifications.
Wow.
Current Secretary of State and AG candidate Jenna Griswold claims to have high-level courtroom experience she does not have.
Wow.
Raising questions about both her experience and her honesty.
I'm going to take on the billionaires and corporations as Attorney General to protect.
That is Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold. She's running for Attorney General. That's Colorado's chief legal officer. And this claim by Griswold about her qualifications.
And in 2024, I followed the Constitution and argued at the Supreme Court that
What?
Donald Trump should not be eligible for president.
That claim is not true.
It's not
What?
a complicated thing.
It's false. No matter how many times Griswold says it during her
She
campaign
keeps saying
for
it?
AG, that she argued before the Supreme Court or argued at the Supreme Court, she didn't.
I found everything else. And
What happened?
It's the Colorado Supreme Court.
No.
Oh.
As Secretary of State, she went to the Supreme Court, but she had lawyers who argued.
Oh.
So she was the appellate, not the defendant, but or whatever. The defendant, I guess, because it was against the state of Colorado.
Yeah.
So she didn't argue shit, but she's taking credit for it, like she was her lawyer actually arguing in front of the Supreme Court. But it gets even more interesting as we go on here.
Griswold is falsely taking credit for arguing before the court.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the court.
Colorado Solicitor General Shannon Stevenson. That's her team photo on the day when she, not Jenna Griswold, argued before the Supreme Court.
to a lawyer, the terms are entirely crystal clear. Perhaps not to the general public.
That may have been true until the public sees this.
Griswold's Democratic primary opponents for AG all have extensive courtroom experience.
Wow.
Authorities, a state and local prosecutor, Boulder County DA, Hetal Doshi is a federal prosecutor, and David Seligman is a consumer attorney. We asked Griswold's campaign if she has ever argued a case in any courtroom.
Ooh.
They pointed to one case more than a decade ago in 2011 or 2012, they said, in the District of Columbia. Records show that Griswold was only admitted to the DC bar for the final 5 months or so of that time frame, and Griswold's campaign did not provide details that would allow us to confirm
dear God.
a single case.
Oh my God.
So what a piece of garbage. So
What
not
a
only
piece
did
of
she
garbage.
not argue in front of the Supreme Court, she hasn't argued in front of
Any
courts except for maybe one in a career, but she wants to be attorney general.
Wow. And if she got in there unscathed, I mean, we would never know this.
Exactly.
We would never know. Well, speaking of the DC courts, I meant to tell you, Julie Kelly did a great breakdown about the grand jury proceedings in DC, how these DC grand jury people are being coached to reject anything from the Trump Department of Justice. This is worse than we thought. This is the same grand jury people who indicted over 300 January 6ers. They've now found out that they've rejected every single thing by the Department of Justice that has gone before the DC grand juries, and nobody could figure out why. And Julie Kelly has put out a piece saying that they are being coached by leftist activists, the grand jury itself, to reject anything coming from the Department of Justice.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, this is dark, Eric. This is fucking dark as shit. I've never even heard of this.
No kidding.
Somehow they're getting their names and having seminars coaching them to reject anything from the Trump administration.
Amazing. Yeah, everything is getting darker and darker and darker.
Well, speaking about rejection, Vanity Fair's staff has vowed to reject Vanity Fair and walk out in protest. The entire staff. I don't know who would run it, who's actually going to run the magazine then, because they want to put Melania on the cover. But somebody's in favor of putting her on the cover, and I assume they're running the staff. So the staff is saying we're going to walk out in protest at Vanity Fair, but then who the hell is doing this? It doesn't make any sense.
I can tell you right now, go ahead, geniuses. I recommend that they should ask BuzzFeed how that's going to work out for them. And I don't remember if Daily Beast has some of it, but you know who is replacing writers? AI. And
well, they're not going to replace
I'm
it.
just saying, get the staffers walking out, they'll be like, okay, fine, good. We'll check.
No, but I'm just wondering
who
what's the staffers. Some staffers have to be in favor of doing this.
Well, I'm sure
who
it's
is going to do
management.
it? Who is going? Not management. I mean, it's got to be upper editorial people who are doing it.
Well, I mean somebody's got to do the. We're covering her, make it happen. I mean,
right, but somebody's going to have to write the article. Someone's going to have to take the photo. Someone's going to have to put her on the cover, and that's part of the staff.
I'm willing to bet that there are enough talented people in the industry who can work a camera.
Of course,
and they can take the.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm just suggesting it's almost like they're protesting themselves.
Sure.
I mean, it's not like they're protesting. If the building, allows Trump to move into their building, we're going to walk out. Okay, that's something else. But they're saying if our own magazine puts her on the cover of our own magazine, we're going to walk out. Physically, somebody's got to do that. So I just thought it was humorous. I hope they follow. Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Because I don't have examples right off the top of my head, but it's actually happened in other places. And go ahead, bye.
Yeah,
you're going to be out your ass. So was it Washington Post? I think a shit ton of people resigned there. Didn't LA Times people resign left and right supposedly because of the new guy? So
yep.
Goodbye.
Yeah, they're still running without them. I mean, there are plenty of publications where this has happened.
And where are they going to go? That's the interesting part.
Go anywhere. There's nowhere to go in magazines.
That's my point.
I mean, that's the most cherished job in magazines. There's so few of them,
and they're so overpaid. If you consider,
I don't know,
comparison to a lot of other jobs.
Yeah,
I mean, they're lucky to have that. So I don't know. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Good luck.
Yep. See you later. All right. Let me get some super chats through here. Pamela, happy to see you. That's who I mentioned earlier. Okay. Anthony Madison out of Australia has thrown us a curveball.
Oh, he changed his whole thing?
Yeah. It's no longer Trump's fault.
Somebody else's fault?
It is.
Oh, it's about time this guy changed. Now it's my fault. Jesus Christ. I can't even live like this anymore. This is ridiculous. Now it's my fault.
Well, I think he's onto something.
He's onto something here.
Ort Cloud, the weekend is here. Great show, gents. Thank you. Thank you. I like the upside down smiley face. William Ratcliffe, I want the classic car export license out of Cuba. People have talked about that. They've done amazing things with the cars, that's for sure. And there are more classic cars in Cuba than just about anywhere on the planet. Mike Schaefer, 2808. Don't ever, as a practical joke, sprinkle Romano cheese in your in-laws' luggage.
What?
It smells like feet and isn't funny. They get really mad. Don't do it.
I never even thought about that, Mike. I mean, is that a
I
thing you
don't
got
know.
busted over or something? Is that why would you do that to them? I don't understand why you would sprinkle cheese into your in-laws' luggage.
I don't know, but at first I was thinking, wait, is this something that the TSA is going to find? And there's a problem. I didn't know where this was going, but boo.
I don't know. It sounds like a smelly thing.
It does smell. It does sound.
It's a
smelly.
dairy product that needs to be refrigerated.
When open, yeah. That's different. All right, True Texan. Have you ever wondered why Zapruder never flinched while filming while everyone else was ducking and running? Always seems strange to me because his legs were held by somebody when he was doing it.
How many hours do you
wasn't
think he was? How many hours do you think he
for
was up there,
approximately
bro?
30 seconds?
30? That's not even 30.
If that. Well, no, he had to flip it and rewind. I mean, according to Groden. So it was.
I was
not a long
one time I was wondering about that. I couldn't sleep at night.
So anyway,
there's plenty of people standing around gaping. By the way, if you look at the film.
Yeah, and I'm going to guess that having your legs held probably.
No. I'm saying there's plenty of people just standing and watching. I mean, not everybody's hitting the deck.
Yeah. Anyway, weird. I'm not saying your name. Anyway, Gnome is an obvious narcissist.
That's probably true. I don't know.
Yeah.
The poor dogs that she killed. And I mean, that whole thing was so crazy. And again, he said, I have to have this woman be the head of Homeland Security. After all of that baggage in her books, and now he's got to fire her. I mean, this is a classic Trump debacle. And I love Trump, and I hate to point it out, but he has some sort of a fucking Achilles heel for these broads. A certain type of woman, and he just, what is this here on it? What do you got?
Lindsay Halligan.
Oh, yeah, that's the next one. She's, they're going to disbar her now in Florida. They're going after her. This is yet another one. Isn't there a guy who's fat and ugly who could have gone in there with some credentials instead of her and not gotten her clock cleaned in the Comey debacle?
I agree. Well, and there's another case of it too. Carrie Prejean, whatever, Bowler,
right?
Who he had kicked out before.
Yeah,
she was like Miss California or whatever.
Yeah,
and then got like some sort of a sex tape or something that lost that. So
then there's the chick out of New Jersey.
Remember he brought her back.
Yeah,
put her on the religious council. Her entire function on that religious council was to defend and carry water for Candace Owens and attack everybody for supporting Israel. I'm like, he puts her in there. Right? So
it's insane. It's absolutely, and I can't get my mind around it. I don't know. He's been burned so many times, and he keeps doing it.
He does. He does. Diffuse Tractor Guy gifted 10 America's Untold Stories memberships, which we always appreciate.
Did you see the guy who set the guy on fire in New York, and he had 131 prior arrests, and they let him out again in New York City? I mean, this case was so egregiously insane. I thought it was 13 prior arrests. It was 131 prior arrests. He set a guy on fire in the subway or in the Penn Station, and they released him again. What do you have to do to go to jail in that fucking city? Al Gonzalez. Al Gonzalez, telephone call.
It's a great question.
I mean, what crime do you have to commit to get long-term incarceration there? He's had 131 arrests, this dude. He's a good-looking guy, Eric, though. I mean, he looks like a businessman. Oh, there he is. That's an artist's conception of some sort of art.
Yeah, I do not know why. And then, somebody else, like they'll have the January 6th people, they'd hold them until,
Well, I mean, that's right.
21
That's like
if they could.
DC, but does New York have the greatest public defenders in the history? Are the public defenders in New York so experienced from so much crime that they are like the Alan Dershowitzes of law, but they're in the public defenders team? I mean, it could be that they're such veteran and lawyers who have so much experience from sheer volume of crimes that they just know how to work the system. The public defender lawyers.
Yeah, I don't know. We will have to consult with Nate, the lawyer, on that one. He's
Well,
from New York.
this
He's
guy-
a lawyer. He was a prosecutor. I'll defer to him.
Rex, the guy out here, Nick Reiner, who has a public defender, he's got this black woman. He's considered to be better than regular defense attorneys in LA for the same reason I'm mentioning that I don't know her version in New York. The woman here is considered to be one of the best attorneys in the city of Los Angeles simply because she has had 10,000 fucking cases. And it could be the equivalent of her in New York, is all I'm saying.
True, but there usually is a balancing factor that goes with that. When do you have time for 10,000 cases?
Well,
So
she's got a pretty- she's got a
you
pretty
may be the
big
most
staff.
talented
Got a
person in the world, but you can't be in 10 places at once.
Well,
and that
her
can be a
staff,
challenge.
just so you know, has 200 attorneys on it. So it's like having a private law firm that just deals with keeping people out of jail and the judges who are sympathetic. So you've got a rigged system in that regard in both cities.
Yeah. I know. We'll have to consult Nate, like I said. Scott Bimbo, good afternoon, gentlemen. A friend says he has his dad's photos from the day Ruby deleted Oswald. Supposed to show Ruby and the back of Oswald's head. We will see. Okay.
I'm not holding my breath, but not holding my breath for the 18th Street gang that was taken down by Kash Patel yesterday either. With this guy, Bill Asali, who is the assistant prosecutor here in Los Angeles. The 18th Street gang, why LAPD couldn't do this is obvious, but the FBI raided the headquarters, the homes of the 18th Street gang yesterday, taking these fat Mexican women and these hardcore Mexican gang guys out in one of the most stunning takedowns of a gang in LA history yesterday. It's all over the papers out here. Tip of the hat to Kash Patel. They run MacArthur Park. They run a big section, big swath of East LA. And they're into child trafficking, sex trafficking, drugs, fentanyl, everything imaginable, weapons. And they've haven't been challenged in decades. And FBI went in, no LAPD. This was all a government federal operation. I've said this for years. You need the feds in these blue cities to fight back against the corruption in these blue cities. They will not take these people down. This is all drugs, money, cash, guns, everything that they pulled in yesterday from the 18th Street gang here, which is one of the main military gangs in Los Angeles. A tip of the hat to Kash Patel and the new sheriff in town, who's Bill Asali, 18th Street gang. Yeah, just wanted to get that out there. Give a little tip of the hat to those guys.
And in fairness to Kash Patel, because he gets a lot of heat.
Yeah.
That is what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Over everything. Even when he was going through confirmation, he kept saying, I'm worried about crime. I want to deal with crime. Crime. And
this was a good one, Eric.
Fentanyl.
This was a good one.
So let's see. John Springer, question. Kristi Noem peaked when she became governor of South Dakota, right? MAGA loved her, but she was never seriously in line for Trump's succession, was she?
Trump's
They
succession?
liked
What do
her
you mean?
during early COVID because South Dakota didn't shut down. To her credit, that's good. But that's kind of about it. I mean, there have been problems with her for a long time.
She looked like Susan Collins. She never would have been head of DHS.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. Oh, she looked like Lisa Murkowski. She never would have been head of Department of Homeland Security.
No. Mike Schaefer, Mark, I think financial literacy should be part of high school curriculum. Some people aren't
Yeah.
prepared for success. Thoughts?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You remember? Okay, I was kind of the tail end of that. I think it started to disappear after I went to school, but I had auto shop. There's
Yep, I had
wood
auto-
shop.
Yep.
There was home economics.
We had
and
metal shop too. Metal shop was the third shop.
Okay, I don't know if we had that, but
we
anyway,
had
home
metal shop.
economics I think is huge. They taught you
For the
how
girls.
to
That was
balance
for
your
the girls.
checkbook and shit like that, and cook. And
Well, home ec was for the girls. Metal shop was for the boys.
well, they did both. So
I'm just saying, in my school system in New
Right.
York, a metal shop was for the boys, and home ec was for the girls.
right.
But I don't think they have either one of these now. I don't
I
know
think
if
they're
they-
all gone. I mean, hell, band's barely trying to hold on. True Texan with the super sticker. Thank you.
Send it to
K-Dog.
Paxton, bro.
Some intellectuals ran war games with different ales, and 95% went to full out nuke war.
What's ALS?
I don't know. It's an abbreviation, I think, but I don't know. K-Dog, I apologize.
ALS.
Yeah,
ALS.
for a second I was like ALS. No. All right, Sean.
Lateral sclerosis.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
ALS.
I know. Sean Lucan, another great show, gentlemen. Thank you and happy Friday. Thank you, Sean, so much. PD, congrats on 133. Yeah. Let me see.
You
I
didn't
hope
say that
I'm
a year
still
ago.
around to congratulate you when you hit. I hope I'm still around to see 150.
They're not moving that number, bro. They don't give a shit what happens. I told you I sent you that. I sent that thing about Twitter,
X.
and they sent me back the grok. They sent me a grok statement.
Well,
on
it
how
looked
to
like
get-
it was just like help files. Like not even.
Yeah, that's what and this was a connection where you're supposed to ask them for premium if you had some problems on Premium X, a help thing, and they sent me back a generic help file. They just told me to go fuck myself.
Amazing. All right, Stacy Michaels gifted 10 America's Untold
She's great,
Stories
this girl.
membership. Yeah, she is. Just coming into the board, which we appreciate. Joining legends like Pew Pew and oh God, I feel terrible. Dick, and other great ones. Sean Lucan does it sometimes, so we appreciate each and every one who are coming in. Thank you very much. Now let me see. I just checked for Rumble, and we just got rated, I guess, from Robert Govea's stream. Right on time. So they got here just in time, and we're actually going to be heading over to locals.
Goodbye. Thanks for coming.
So,
Thanks for stopping by, bro.
It's really good to see all of you. Thank you for coming here. I really hope you enjoy this approximately 2 to 3 minutes of a show. We have a wonderful outro. You might not get to.
Well, let me just say, there's two things I was going to say. One is Wednesday I've got a thing on Richard Pryor on What's Up with Lord Buckley on the other channel, and also on Thursday, Viva and I are doing a deep dive on the French Connection movie. So those are two plugs on my thing.
Awesome. And if not, we will. Well, actually,
But come
we'll see
over
you-
to
we're gonna
locals. Maybe
see
we
you
could
on
show that
Tuesday.
video of the San Francisco mayor, the top secret video that we're going to enjoy over on locals that we can't show, which is typical. I mean, there's stuff we can't do on YouTube that we could do at locals, which is a lot of fun,
100%.
including language and saying the self-deletion word over and over. I just want to say this: there's a car in the Bonnie and Clyde movie that had self-deletion doors. And Viva was like wrestling with, it kept saying self-deletion doors because he had gotten demonetized the day before on his own channel for saying the word for self-deletion. So he had PTSD from the day before. And the people in the chat were saying the word, going, it's self-deletion. What's the problem? The self-deletion doors. And they just kept saying S doors, S doors, S doors. But we could say it over on locals. So when we go over there, we'll talk more freely.
All right. Well, we will see you over there, and everybody, thank you so much. If not, we'll see you next Tuesday, even before
That's right. Yeah, we'll be here next Tuesday. I'm sure there's going to be more fucking news because even today we had 1 million articles.
100%.